Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to an all-new episode of Point of View. This is the place where we break down what's happening in the world, from entertainment headlines to the conversations that matter most to women of color, okay? Coming up on today's show, the Oscar nominees for the 98th Academy Awards have officially dropped, and Sinners is making record-breaking history. But not everyone is buying the hype. Plus, we're here for Michelle Obama continuing to uplift and support Black-owned businesses. And of course, Girlfriend's Guide and Unpopular Opinion are coming up later with discussions you definitely don't want to miss. Our co-host, Ree and Crystal,
hey,
along with our host, Natalia,
hey,
are all here too and ready to break it all down. So come on in, join the discussion, because you know what you're watching, POV. Congratulations are in order for the cast of Sinners. The film just made history with 16 Oscar nominations. On paper, that's a major win for the culture, but fans are very skeptical, and history gives them reason to pause. Now, The Color Purple, if you remember, received 11 Oscar nominations in 1985 and walked away with 0 wins. So while we can't call the outcome just yet, the people have spoken. What are your thoughts on this?
I definitely want to say that thinking about The Color Purple and, what happened in 1985, I know that there is still so many prejudices and injustices that, are happening every day when it comes time for, people of color, any color, to receive their flowers. But I do low-key feel like 1985 and 2026, it does happen to be 2 different times. There were different, things going on even politically and, at that time. So I just feel like I don't want to judge it off of the fact that The Color Purple didn't get what it deserved. And when we're talking about my brain here, when we're talking about congratulations, being in order and pausing, can we pause for a moment and really just, congratulate them for, what they are up for.
16 nominations.
That's huge.
That's a lot.
And can we send them some well wishes and hopes, just some good positive energy that they actually
We hope
will
the
get what
committee
they
will
deserve.
do it right.
Yes.
Exactly.
And send them home with the wins.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think my problem that I have is every time we need to just celebrate something and just based in the glory of what they've achieved, we have to always compare things. And I feel that as an African American within my own community, why can't we just smile and say, hooray, I'm proud of you, I'm happy for you. We don't need to compare it to The Color Purple. Listen, I'm 39, I was born in 86. That's 40 years ago. Am I doing my math here? Is that right? Why are we even comparing the two? Like, let them have their flowers. This is 2026. That was 1985. There have been so many other movies in between that time, yet you have to find a reason to put something against something.
Well, I think people still I don't want to say the trauma of history, but there's still that historical element that I don't think people are able to easily forget, that they won all these nominations for a Black cast, 11 Oscar nominations, everyone lead Black cast, and they didn't win anything. We're hoping that this time is different. And I get you. We don't want to sit in that and just go over it and, ruminate over that. But we definitely want to walk home with the wins and not be slighted and know that this is actually going to happen. And I think that's what people are saying. We want these 16 wins. We want what we can get, right? But we would like to take home all 16.
But I want to piggyback on what Crystal said. It's always with our community when we compare any and everything. I'm pretty sure no other community has even thought of, The Color Purple in 1985. That's beyond that. They're not thinking about that. So, of course, it is our community who is thinking that far back to try to compare, and it's always comparison, and that sucks so bad. I personally didn't watch the movie Sinners, but everybody did, and they were saying, good things about it and how good the movie is. So why, like you said, we just can't rejoice and be happy that they have these nominations.
It really was a good movie. Let's rejoice and be happy that they have the nominations.
Right.
16.
Right.
They're still Oscar nominated. That's still a title.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not the same as the win.
It's not, but let's be honest. Can you go down in history for the last 20 years and say who's won an Oscar? Can you actually repeat them?
We know Halle Berry did, didn't they?
Well, we're talking for movies because there's been so
she did
many.
for the movies.
There's so many.
Well, I think we remember in our community the ones that got it because it's slim, right? And I think that's the problem. We don't want the slimness anymore. We want to have it like it seems everyone else has had it, right? We want the same thing.
Yeah, and I don't know if it is, honestly fair to say everyone else, because I can't remember what the Asian American actor that was talking about it a few years ago, but I remember her saying, like, how, Asian actors, and I'm sure Hispanic actors, so many other actors that are not white do not get their due flowers either.
Well, I'm trying to be diplomatically.
Yeah,
I get it. But so that's why I said everyone.
Yeah.
I don't want to call out.
Yeah, but I feel like sometimes I know that we are Afro TV, and I know that it is about the Black experience here, and that we, do definitely do that some, justice and service, and that is where our love and focus is seemingly. But I feel like sometimes, maybe we can switch Afro TV to be a, colored TV or something, because I feel like sometimes we're talking about the Black experience so much that we don't realize that so many people of color have almost the same experience. And I just feel like it's not fair to discredit that.
I can agree.
Yeah.
Well, they need to get their own
Latino.
Ooh, they're on network. They do.
They
Telemundo.
They actually do. Yes, they do.
Seriously, and stuff like that.
Separate
Yeah,
network.
they do.
But it's like,
Yeah.
even with the Oscars, I always see like every year that people complain about the things that they don't like at Oscars. And if you know that the Oscars is not for us, why continue to care about it or to continue to go? If every year is thrown in your face, or this person should have won and treated unfairly, why go? Why even get yourself in a bunch?
But I understand that, but is that even fair to say? Because realistically, we're all fighting for our piece of the pie. And if you get an opportunity, even if you feel like you're constantly overlooked, you're going to take that opportunity in hopes that this time you'll be treated fairly. Now, even when Raquel was talking about, what the past has brought us, it just made me feel like, is it fair for us to allow the past to make us pessimists?
Well, no, we don't want to be pessimists, but you also don't forget it either.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
so
if you're carrying it, you're not really optimistic.
But we use the Bible as the past, right? We use that, and we use it in our own future to determine our present, right? But we learn from the past, and we hope it's not repeated, because often it is repeated, and that's the importance of knowing the past. Am I right?
No, it's important to know.
Then we have history books, right? And the history books tell us about the past as well, not just our own history when we have our own books, but other history. We have world history. So the past is relevant.
Of course.
But we definitely want to make sure we don't repeat those things in the past that did not serve well
or
at
to
that
just
time.
keep shrinking into places that don't want to
you
fit us
there.
in.
Yeah.
It's like, why shrink to this?
Yeah.
Because so what is the Oscar? So what?
Yeah.
So what?
Well, it's supposed to be like the biggest nomination
so-
in the film
but
industry.
so
It's huge.
what?
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, everybody wants their accolades, though.
Yeah.
Whether they mean the most
For doing
to them or
great
not.
work.
Yeah, so, I'm just hoping that, Sinners does
I hope they get it, because
because
was
Ryan
a good movie.
Coogler definitely did
He
did
did
big one.
it.
Yeah, I saw at the Golden Globes where he was congratulating his wife and just saying how, she supported him through school and all these
Yes.
other things. And I believe he was saying when he quit his job and how even that she had so much to do behind the scenes with the outplay of the movie and things like that. So I hope that it works out for them.
And then I like Michael B. Jordan, Masuku was the actress. Yeah, and then the guy, yesterday we saw him with his outfit. I can't remember his name. But I mean, this is a big deal. And I really hope. 16, y'all, let's celebrate that. All right, yes. In other news, and still talking about doing things for the culture, Michelle Obama says she becomes more mindful of what she's purchasing and especially supporting women or Black-owned businesses, not just women, Black-owned businesses, and encourages others to do the same. Take a look.
Of someone whose fashion that I like, and I know that they're a person of color, I try to make it a point. But the clothes have to be available. You know, I think we can all do some work to think about that balance in our wardrobes. You know, what does our closet look like, and who's in it? Who are we supporting in it?
Right.
You know, and I think if you have the money to buy Chanel, then you have the money to buy everybody.
Right.
And so let us be mindful, I think would be my advice.
Yeah.
And she says she's becoming more mindful about supporting Black-owned businesses.
I can agree.
Yeah.
I
As
really
a
do
business
love that.
owner, I can agree because within our own culture, we are taught, and for lack of a better term, that white is right. And everything that they put out, every product that they make is just so beneficial, has so many different things that we need. But then when you have smaller businesses or people who look just like you, create something maybe 10 times better, you will demote it because of who created it. And I see that in just the cosmetic world by itself.
So see,
where-
now we're talking history.
yeah,
This is what has
it's true.
historically happened. We don't want to ruminate on it, but we haven't forgotten it.
Which is understandable what you're saying, but in context of what she's talking about, just supporting Black-owned business, we have strength in numbers, and if we can go out and make, I'll use a company, L'Oreal, who makes majority of ethnic hair care products, but we will put so much money in their pocket and take away from businesses like myself or anybody else, and demote their product and say, oh, it's not so good because you have billions of dollars, but they're not even a Black-owned company.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think that that's a good point, and it made me think about how the other day, not only are we, you know, often or commonly supporting white businesses, but sometimes they do have the money and the backing and the funding to make things look more appealing. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, right now everyone's into that viral culture and, you know, all this aesthetically pleasing stuff. That is like, for instance, I said that I wanted to make some content. Crystal has a hair care line, Elite Hair Care. And I believe I called her maybe like 3 months ago. I had one little side of my edges, honey. I ain't gonna say who pulled it out, but I had one little side of my edges from way back in the day. It would not grow.
Yeah.
And I got some hair oil from Crystal, and I was using it. And one day I just looked in the mirror and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
There's some hair over there. You know what I'm saying? And I called her and I was telling her like, oh my God, your product really works.
Right.
But then I got caught up in the viral moment and Sacred came out. And then I said, oh, the packaging is so beautiful. And I'm not even a Beyonce fan, okay?
Right.
But I went and bought the whole line. Some of the products are really good, but I got the hair drops. I've been using them for 5 weeks straight. When I tell you not one hair done sprouted, I really want to package it back up, take it back to Ulta,
happened.
okay? Get my money back and go and use them same $60 and buy 3 bottles from Crystal
Right.
where my hair was growing at. So we do have to support Black businesses.
But the one thing that, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
The one thing that stood out that Michelle said is basically we have to make sure that we have it on hand. Because available, yes. Because every time when it's time to click something, it's sold out.
And you waiting 6 weeks.
you
You
waiting
waiting until we about to
6 weeks.
restock.
No, but it's true. But see, here's the thing that people also don't understand. I'm glad you mentioned Sacred, right? A lot of times they will put a black face on these. It's not just beauty. It's
like
not because I'm a beauty brand. There's other things: clothes, shoes,
Yeah.
music, politics. Hello,
Right. Yeah.
they're putting a black face there because they know that we have the buying power.
Right.
And if we actually acknowledge the fact that we have so much power in this
Right.
world, that we are able to now take a $1 billion corporation like Target and literally bring them down to little of nothing, we would understand how powerful we are as Black people. And if we invested that same energy into all of our different businesses, no matter if it's a service or a product, and stop finding a reason to say, yeah, but you didn't. Take the butt out of it, because when these other companies have a 9-week wait, you're
Don't mind
A-okay.
waiting. Right. And if we don't,
correct.
And they would put pre-order sales.
Correct.
Yeah.
And now you
right.
feel like hold on, did we not just hear about Ulta last night?
Oh,
Right.
Hold on,
Right. Yeah.
okay? But guess what? People will blow up social media because it's Ulta. But you won't blow up social media because it's Becca, Jamisha, Jaquan, or whomever.
Or
You don't do
even,
that.
well, I'm gonna have to throw myself in there. I make skincare products, Envy Luxury exclusive. totally organic. But this is the thing, you know, traveling back and forth, I haven't had a chance to make it, right? So when I get an order, I'm like scrambling, like, oh my gosh, you know, I gotta make it because I'm not having it available because I don't have the processing like Crystal has manufacturing company.
Yeah.
I make it with my own hands, like.
Right.
I don't have that because I haven't grown to that point, but
we don't have the resources.
Right.
And I want you to think bigger.
Yeah.
Why don't we have the resources?
Yeah.
Because we don't support each other.
We don't.
But do you think we're more critical of our community more than other people? And
Yes.
why do you
Yes.
think
Yes.
so?
I'll give you an example. The other night, a customer called me.
Yeah.
Mind you, my phone number is published.
Yeah.
She called me and said that her package was missing 2 items, and she tried to support a Black-owned business. This is always the conversation right here.
Every time.
I tried to support a Black-owned business, and my 2 products weren't even in there. This is my first time. When I actually took the second, as the business owner, to go look at her order, I saw that she didn't even order the 2 items that she said she was missing. But you had already degraded the business from the beginning.
Correct.
Because you already I try to support a Black-owned business.
Yes.
But then when Fashion Nova and all these other companies were taking your money for 6-7 months and telling you, hold on, you couldn't call anyone.
Right.
Oh, I can wait. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And guess what? They're multi-million-dollar and you're still supporting them years later, but you didn't start the conversation as I tried to support a white-owned business.
Right.
Yeah.
So you already scrutinized your own color before you even got in the door.
And it's so many people do that. Some people come to you just to see what could they say bad about you. I had a client the other week. She didn't get to be my client, but she came in. Well, I text her to confirm the appointment because yes, if you book online, that doesn't mean that you're automatically coming. Something could literally change, and you could change your mind. So I text her that morning. Text her that night. Hey, are you coming tomorrow? Can you just please confirm? No text. Text her that morning. Hey, can you please confirm? No text. She texts me at her appointment time. Hey, I'm here. How am I supposed to know? I said, no. She said, hey, I'm here. My phone was on Do Not Disturb by her appointment time. Yeah. I checked like 10 minutes later. I text her back. I said, hey, I got another text from her. This is so unprofessional. This is da-da-da-da. I cannot da-da-da-da. I sent a screenshot and I said, sorry, my phone was on Do Not Disturb now. Yeah. I said, but I've been texting you since last night. You have not responded. Only thing she could say was, oh, I put the wrong number on there. Not I apologize. She said, oh, I put the wrong number on there. I guess I got to lose my deposit. Not I'm sorry for what all I just said to you. So they literally come in looking for a problem.
That's why I don't like online booking, baby. I'd rather be able to vet them out and see how you fill you out.
Right.
I think we're just really hard on small businesses, and we don't put that kind of heart on corporations, you know, because those are the ones that's like digging in and taking everything.
Right.
But the small business owners, I think we're way too hard on that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I can agree.
Yeah.
But I think that it's 10 times worse in the African American community.
Yes.
We find reason.
And as hard as we do scrutinize each other, our own people, you know, with a way different lens. But at the same time, I still feel like there needs to be a standard, and we spoke about it before, in Black businesses and businesses of color, because so often I see people, whether it's in the hair industry, they come to work looking any kind of way, like they just rolled out of bed. They're not giving any effort. They don't have, you know, any good customer service skills and things like that. Don't have anything in stock. I mean, come on, we have to raise the standard here as well, because we can't just talk about being scrutinized when we're not providing the proper services.
Yeah. I can agree.
Commonly. Yeah.
Correct. All right.
Let me give you some. Come on.
Give it. Now let's get into all things love, life, relationships, and everything in between. Let's get into Girlfriend's Guide. So today we're taking things, this is a topic that's really close to home for so many of us, so many families. We all know parents work hard to provide, but is a roof over your head enough? What happens when it's just survival mode? Survival becomes the lesson instead of love. When kids get the basics, but not the emotional safety and support they really need. Can any of you relate to this?
I can.
Yes.
And it's so relatable in so many different situations for me, because I was a person who I would say raised off love, but I dated someone for a long time who was raised off survival. So with a person who's raised off love and raised off survival come together, it was not good. It was not healthy at all. And I know he loved me to the best of his ability, but his actions showed different because the things that he was doing for survival was hurting me. And even though he knew it was hurting, in his mind, it's like, don't worry, like all this stuff almost done. I'm just trying to get to this level so then we could finally, live happily ever after. And it's like, no, no.
Agree. I think my own personal experience is with my children.
Yeah.
So being a cosmetologist, and Natalia can attest to this, we have no time frame that we don't work. This was early on. Now we have more ethics and standards, right? But my children will be at the babysitter till 9, 10 o'clock at night. I'm coming home with a lot of money. So guess what I'm doing? Hey, what do you guys want? And I'm trying to buy the love to replace the fact that I'm not there because I'm in survival mode, trying to make sure that everything is taken care of. Yeah. All the bills are taken care of, school, whatever. And then later on, once one of my children literally just took it there. And my younger daughter, she said, Mom, like, she was ready to just end her own life. Oh, and it took that moment for me to wake up and say, okay, yeah, the money's there, but I have to remind myself that I have 4 children who depend on me. And it's not just the money. They don't need that. They need me physically. They need me to teach them how to also be human beings in this world and not to continue that cycle of survival mode where I'm not there. I'm not giving you love. I'm just buying you love. Right. Does that make sense? So it was like, it took that drastic moment for it to happen, for me to wake up and say, okay, I have to figure something out. And their livelihood, their just everything became my whole outcome, my whole goal in life. So now you can't, there's a line, baby. It's either I'm here or I'm not. And when they need me, they need me. I will stop what I'm doing and go straight there. And I have to do that.
Like, they need to know that when they need the parent, that parent is going to be there. And I mean, that builds so much trust and that safety. Yeah.
And when you're a business owner, especially in the beauty industry, when I was in my early 20s making all of that money, I missed so many years of going out of town with my family for holidays and just all of this. And I have a little sister, we're 11 years apart. And I was wondering, years later when something drastic happens, you're wondering, when did you get like this? I didn't teach you this, but I was so busy doing whatever I was doing, I didn't miss the important parts of her life. And now she has become this person, and I'm like, who is this? And I'm mad and angry, and the whole time it's kind of like, my fault. Where you been, girl? Yeah. So it's like, viewers, don't let money rob you of
being present.
Being present.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Yep. Yeah. And I know, I feel like it's so common when I think about, the older people that I know or my older family members, and even some, like a little bit of my generation, where we survived a little bit differently or still thrive even without the evidence of love. Like sometimes we could take like the coldness from our parents or from our family members sometimes, and we would still look past that and understand the motive that they really loved us. But I feel like now with social media, YouTube, all these things, giving these kids this different information and definitions for so many things. Mental health is a real thing. And so I feel like now more than ever, these kids and my children are showing me like how maybe they're not as resilient as we were. And maybe our resilience came from survival mode, but wasn't the best anyways. And so even with that, it's hard for me to try to figure out how can I make my children like know how to be resilient, but not knowing how to be resilient because I was the one that kept pushing them back and they had to still fight against it, Yeah. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense to me.
It makes sense.
Do you think parents maybe unintentionally like teaching this survival? They don't mean to, but they're just like, it's just what's happening. It's just the world.
When they have their own trauma and they're not healed. I think about even my grandmother. She went through a lot. Her childhood was traumatic in its own way, and then maybe she traumatized her children, unintentionally. And then my mom did it. And now, I'm at a place now where I have to be conscious about the healing that I need and break this generational trauma because I even see instances sometimes where I'm inflicting things that I didn't want to do, just as my mom didn't want to do, just as my grandma didn't want to do it. And here we all carrying it.
Yeah.
Just
one thing that my kids pointed out really quickly, my daughters said to me after I got out of a relationship of 12 years, they said, Mom, you are nicer now. We're so happy to be with you now. Whereas in my 12 years of going through that relationship, I was trying to survive just in every direction. Where I couldn't really be there for them because I had nobody there for myself.
Oh my goodness.
Well, wow, great conversation. That's a wrap for today's episode. Before we go, let's leave you with the quote. Small steps in the right direction can turn out to be the biggest step of your life. Don't you forget, you can catch us right here tomorrow. Same time, same place. See you then.